Hi, my name's Nika Commodore.
And I'm Chelsea Wynn.
And this is the Ironic Pod.
We're two complete strangers wound up business partners, purpose mates, and best friends in the matter of months.
We like to have real life conversations about our healing journey and how we fell into alignment with our purpose. First try.
After
a week off. Listen, y'all.
Man.
It wasn't that we wanted a week off. We were forced to have a week off.
We were.
Because
what happened?
How many times have we tried to record this episode?
Too many.
Literally 2.
Yeah, too many.
The first try.
You got triggered?
I got triggered. Listen, so we always say God's funny, right? Because we always talk about how instead of just being up front like, hey, I need y'all to do this.
Yeah.
He'll make us learn.
Yeah.
And he taught us something. So we told you that every week he tells us like what we're supposed to talk about. And last week he waited till Thursday to tell me.
Yeah.
Well, he waited till Thursday to confirm that he had already told me the previous Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I said no. Mm-hmm. So I thought he wanted us to play the never, what are we called?
Something about strangers.
We're not really strangers game. I swear by this game. And, we only know each other for like 6 months. So I'm over here like, well, we are kind of strangers,
Yep.
Baby.
I was hyped to play.
Baby. We started reading these questions. We already knew the answers for each other.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Hit me in my mouth, bro. Every single one.
So then we bruh. When I tell you, like, she's like, no, we're going to find out what this episode's about. We went through every single one. I started crying in the middle of it.
Boo-hooing.
Crying.
Like real tears. Real tears.
Frustrated. A lot of revelation, realization, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then we tried the second time.
Yeah.
And the microphones did not want to be recognized on the computer. Each time that we tried.
Yeah, it just wasn't working. But I'm so glad it didn't. I mean, I know why it didn't. It's clear now, but it was frustrating at the time.
Very frustrating, especially because our office ain't close to our home.
I know that's right.
It's some gas.
I know that's right.
And we drove separately again.
You asked me to carpool today, and then when you said, I'm going to come get y'all, I was like, ooh, so you meant you want to drive? Oh, yeah. I'll be ready at the door.
And so we tried to record the second time. Mics didn't work. And then God just literally said, take this week off.
Yeah.
But it took us fighting to try to make it happen. But when I tell you I needed that week.
Yeah, me too.
Because it was my calm before the storm.
Literally.
This week?
I'm
still feeling it.
Yeah.
A lot of tests, a lot of trials.
Yeah.
A lot of tests of my faith.
For sure.
A lot of patience that had to be practiced.
Yeah.
And staying in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Some scary moments has happened in this week for me. And I needed that break.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's actually a miracle that we're even recording right now.
It is.
It was real recent that we were down in the dumps. Happened yesterday.
It happened so quick.
Yeah.
Everything happens so quickly. That's why we never keep track of time anymore. Like, I don't know what day it is half the time.
No.
I don't know what's going on. It hasn't even been that long since we recorded, but it feels like it's been a long time.
It feels like it's been a month.
It does.
And we even tried to record twice last week.
Yeah. That's weird. But it's so much more comfortable now.
I feel like I'm at a peace again.
Yeah.
This week has been hell, to put it lightly.
I would say the past 2 weeks, or like a week and a half. But it's like I said, it seems like, am I shaking the thing?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It seems like it's been such a long time. And I had to really think about that too, because when you say like testing faith and stuff, my faith has been tested so much. And I was not prepared for that. I mean, I was prepared because the obvious, but I was not prepared in how it was going to be tested. And I was like, there's no way. Like, so many triggers from my past, and I could feel it. Like, it felt like, wait a second, this is such a familiar feeling. How do I move past this? And then when I did get past it, that'd be the best. When you actually pass a test, it's like the most freeing feeling ever.
If you feel like you're hiking up a huge hill and you get to the top,
you
might be a little winded and tired.
Yeah, exhausted.
Guess what? You over here looking at the view.
Yes.
By the end of the week. That's been our thing.
By the end of the week. That's our new manifestation. We say by the end of the week it's going to come true. Because so many times we'll be like, by next year I want to. In the next 5 years I want to. No, we waited. We want it now.
We waited.
We waited. We paid for it. That's ours.
Has our name on it.
God promised, and I want it by the end of the week.
End of the week.
Whatever week it is, I don't know.
It's been a long week, y'all.
It's been a long week.
A long week.
Ooh. Anyways, look at us. Hype to talk. What's the word?
What's the word?
What's the word? You can listen to a song, a podcast, a sermon.
The kind of week I had to be strictly in the worship.
Same.
Like literally to keep myself to even stay afloat, to support those around me, everything. Yeah. I needed worship. Yeah. So I had two that was on loop, especially yesterday. Never Been Defeated by Rich Tolbert Jr. and Trusting God by Elevation Church. And I switch off between the two. Yeah. Switch off. So yeah, it's been kind of weak.
I'm the same. I made a video about it today that I was listening to. I was crying on TikTok today. You see that video? Oh, the parent struggles. I was really crying. Those were real tears. But this morning on the way to bring my son to school, I had to put on those worship songs, like that Mary Mary song, you know, those real worship songs. And I had to cry them real tears and be like, bruh. And that's what the video was about, like parent struggles, where sometimes you got to show up and you just have to be a human. You know what I'm saying? Like being strong for your children is not just faking it till you make it, right? It's not constantly trying to fake a smile. It's like, no, baby, mommy's struggling right now. And God is all I got. So we're going to have to worship to this song. Like, we're going to have to play this because this is all I got right now. So, yeah, I was crying on TikTok about that today on some real. But, yeah, it was literally Mary Mary. Can't Give Up Now on full blast.
That one has been on loop before.
On full blast? I done come too far from where I started from. That was deep, though. Like, for real. You know what I'm talking about. When you really worshiping.
That's some belly cry.
Then real like snot nose, like, and I'm like, bro, there's no way he's leaving me here. Ain't no way. You know how much we done been through in the past? What? Ain't no way he brought me all the way here just to do what?
To say I almost made it.
To say I almost did it?
No.
No, there's no way. So yeah, I had that one on loop all day today. That was today. Wow.
This episode had so much warfare on it.
It's gonna be great, apparently.
The connection. Yeah. Between bro, we got here, was ready, microphones are working, did not have a trap on it. Yeah. There was so many different things that was keeping us from recording this, and that tells me that this is going to be a powerful.
It's got to be.
So what are we talking about today?
I don't even know. What are we talking about?
We're talking about relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And the title, which you probably see it now because you clicked on it, right? It's going to be Lash Off. Yeah. These lashes ain't coming off. I'm just saying that right now. They might come off. It's been a week.
It's been a week. Depends how vulnerable we get. They'll definitely come off if we're being honest.
If you see me do this, just know I'm trying to save them. Yeah. That's so, funny. I was talking to Chelsea briefly about like what kind of conversation that I felt was appropriate for this. And I think there's so many of us that actually like desire some kind of relationship because as humans, we are programmed to have community. And I was talking to her about like, what was it like to have relationships and what kind of relationships do you attract at your unhealed version versus like the ones that you're attracting as a healed person. Yeah. And this is relationships. This is friendships. This is family stuff, you know, like what that transition kind of looked like because it's kind of night and day to me. Yeah. Literally night and day. Yeah. So.
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh boy. I would say night and day too, for real. Like when I was back before I began like my healing journey and before I knew God and all these things, I was attracting people that were like me. You know, you attract the people that you like, you attract your type. You attract what you give off, right? And I was always like a good person, but I didn't even know what I was really looking for out of a partner. I definitely wasn't thinking about like a marriage. I wanted like the wedding. But as far as like a marriage, I never thought, what can I provide as a wife? Right. It was more so what was I searching for out of a husband. And now I feel like it's completely different. And I don't date, to be honest. I mean, I date like one person, you know, but as far as like dating and being like on the scene, I don't really do all that. And friendships is the same thing too. Like I was always a good friend, but I was never I never was like worried about what value I was providing to somebody else. It was more so like, what can I get out of them, or what were they doing to me, or you know what I'm saying? Like I never really focused on what I was bringing to the table. Nowadays, I'm more so focused on both of them. Like, what am I able to pour into them, and what are they pouring into me? Like I'm watching how they're treating me and how I'm showing up to them as well. So
I think it's kind of the same thing for me. As before my healing journey, I guess, I was always more about the optics. So it was like, do I look like I'm a good friend? Yeah. Every time they text me, I respond right away. Right. Every time they need advice, I'm always giving them advice. Right. I'm the best friend. How could you ever mistreat me? Yeah. But it's like, what were you actually pouring into them? Yeah. And if I was to reflect on that, I wasn't pouring into them. It's more just what shared memories or moments that we had. Yeah. It wasn't necessarily like a depth to our friendships. It was always like a surface level, right? And that was because I was surface level with myself. I didn't know myself, right? You don't really know yourself until you start healing. And so I realized, reflecting now versus back then, like I always had surface level friendships. Doesn't mean that they didn't mean a lot to me. Doesn't mean that I didn't love them or have care for them. But it was just more about, what are we doing in this moment instead of what is the projection of our friendship, right? And so it's pretty interesting to even see the opposites, because it really is night and day. Relationship wise, like I was talking about my daddy issues, but it was so deeply rooted that I realized that I never actually committed. Yeah. And I was always seeking commitment, because that's what, as a woman, we're taught to look for. But if I can't give that to you, I'm not going to get it back, right? So I'm always attracting the people that aren't wanting commitment. Yeah. They're like, well, why don't you want commitment? Sis, you don't even commit. What you talking about? No, for real. And that's true. So when it came to relationships specifically, I remember I think it was around 2018 that I really started like taking a dive into learning myself, learning what I want to see in myself, or learning what I like or what I like, because that was the year that a lot of people were telling me like, oh, you're 25, you need to be married, you need to have kids, you need to have X, Y, Z, and it's like, what do you want? Yeah. What do I want? Yeah. And I started doing a lot of self-discovery. I started reading books like The Secret, which was a really monumental one for me to get me connected to my spirituality. But as I grew spiritually, I started noticing the relationships that I attracted started to change, whether it was with myself or whether it was with men or with friendships and everything like that. So it's really like an incremental change that I see. Like it was literally year to year that I kept growing in that. Yeah. But it starts with being intentional. Yeah. And I think it really starts with being intentional with finding yourself. Yeah. Because you're going to keep attracting the BS. Right. Until you find yourself. Right. So,
and going off of that, I think I love differently now. Like I give love, but I also receive love different, And we talk about that a lot. Like everybody's always asking me my love language. And I'm like, you know what? I guess I don't really fully know anymore. Because I only know based off what I got in my last relationship. Like this is how I received love from him. And so this is how I feel like I receive love from everybody. When in reality, it's like, I've never generally received words of affirmations. I mean, I have from friends, but not really, even growing up and stuff, I've never really had people that were like verbally loving me, so I never really experienced that. So do I really know what my love language is if I haven't really experienced any of them? Well, there's actually not any, but never took the quiz. I have taken the quiz, but I was in the relationship at that time. So I was really just basing it off of what him. Yeah. Like what he was giving me. And so I always swore it was acts of service, but I don't know. I guess I don't really know anymore. Right.
I think it could change too, because what I realized, they always say like love language is like how you receive love, right? But I was like, okay, but how I show love is different. Oh yeah. Definitely. Like I love gifting people because I put thought in it. Yeah. Like I don't get you just a pair of socks. Like, I got you a pair of socks with your favorite dog on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's thought behind it. So I realized that sometimes that's the way I show love. But it's not how I receive it at all. If I get a gift, I'm like, yeah. I'd rather have a handwritten note, And so the funny thing is, when this airs, it'll be the day after my birthday, and someone asked me, like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, honestly, like, if you even just wrote me a note, I'd be honestly great. Yeah. Because that's something, they say love language is something you didn't receive a lot of when you were a child. Yeah. And I didn't receive a lot of words of affirmation. Like my mom, like obviously poured into me, but as much as she could, while as a single mom working all the time. Yeah. My dad did not pour into me in that way. His was more like physical touch and gifts, and that's like my two lowest ones. Yeah. And so Yeah, so I started noticing quality time. Like I could be in a room with someone and be completely happy. We don't even have to be talking. If I'm just in your presence, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and of course God's gonna hijack this moment, right? There's a book that is for the 5 love languages, but it's like how God communicates with you. Right? And so that was an interesting read for me because like as I was growing in my relationship with God, I started seeing it. So mine was words of affirmation and quality time. So when I am in his presence, when I am getting filled when I need to hear it, you know, like, no, like this is the person I created you to be, et cetera, et cetera. That's when I feel his presence the heaviest. Now I'm starting to see that in every relationship I have in my life. Right. Now as a healed person. That's something I wish everybody, every viewer can experience that because it literally changes your life. Yes, it does. Like I'm sitting here walking into my birthday and I'm like, there's people that really want to support me. They really want to celebrate me right now. And before I always felt like a burden. Yeah. I never wanted to celebrate my birthday. And now I'm like, I do want to spend time with people who really acknowledge like the growth that I've had and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Well, even in that, it hits different when you know yourself. Yeah. Because I've always had people in my life that loved me, but I never showed up as the person I genuinely was. Like I just showed up as who I thought that I was in the moment. So they loved that person, which is why I never really felt loved genuinely. Now it's like I show up in this world as who I genuinely am. So if you love me, you love me. You love Chelsea. You love who I actually am. And that hits different. Especially when you don't shrink anymore. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like literally, I think today the days be blurring, but one of these days this week, I put something about, I'm starting to realize the power of my words. Yeah. Because posting content, like you get people that say like, I got this in the moment that I needed to. And it's like, my words touched you at a point that you needed to have some kind of encouragement. Yeah. And I was talking about also like not feeling the need to silence myself anymore. Like there's so many people who I still think I'm the shy little girl who's not going to speak up. Yeah. Okay, keep thinking that, but when you hear this voice, right, you're gonna be surprised. Right, you're gonna be surprised, and it's probably not gonna cater to what you want me to say because I found who I am. I know who I am. I know whose I am. Say that. Yes. Yep. And love hits differently like that, and it makes me want to love people differently too. Like, I know how it feels to genuinely be loved now, so it's like I want to genuinely love other people and genuinely pour into other people, and like fill them. Yeah. That's not even the point of like you complete me or to complete someone. Yeah. It's to compliment to me. Yeah. Like I'm so far right now. Okay. But yeah, like having partnerships that complement your life instead of making you feel like the difference to me is if you complete me, that means if you go away, I'm not gonna be whole. I want to come as my whole self and I want you to come as your whole self. And then when we come together, it's going to complement our lives. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's in relationships. Yep. That's in connections in general. Yep. And I see that with our friendship, obviously. Like we were working on our own self-discovery, our own healing, our own journey when we met. We were whole, and now we have a whole business, a whole ebook, a whole podcast, and more to come, like in 6 months. Right. That means that you do not have to stay loyal to someone just because you've been with them for years. Friendships, relationships, nothing. Time does not prove how they care about you. Yeah. And it doesn't prove loyalty. No. History and loyalty are two different things. Yeah. It just proves y'all have history. Yeah. Which don't really mean much. No, it really doesn't because we don't have history. And I'd rather have a rich future than history. Yeah, for sure. Why am I over here carrying you to this person who you used to be this year and how you showed up in my life in this year? Yeah. Now, I want to know where we going? Are we on the same path? Are we in alignment? Yeah. That's the word for me. And that's the thing about aligned friendships too, or friendships as the healed version of myself. Like my friendships be much, much different. We have plans. You know what I'm saying? We don't sit down at dinner and just bad talk all our baby dads. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the topic of conversation. I have no interest in doing that. Right. We're not sitting there talking about the past. We're talking about the future. Where do you fit into my future? What plans can we make moving forward? Like where are we going? What are we doing? We're grown adults. Literally. We can have fun, but what are we doing? Yeah, do something. We have to be doing something. Or else you just distracted me. Literally. And it feels like a distraction. And it feels like I'm not showing up as my whole self. Exactly. You're making me shy away from who I actually am because you're not ready for the weight of it.
You be dropping gems and you think everybody just like, oh yeah, that's a good one. No, say it again. Run it back. What I say. Oh my gosh. It was good.
I think I said something along the lines of,
see, but listen, that's how deep she is.
You be making me shy away just because you can't carry the weight of who I actually am.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Jesus. That was a good one. That was a good one.
You gotta get your weight up.
You need to get.
If you want to be in my life, you gotta get the weight up.
Figure it out. And that's the difference too. Literally. Now the boundaries are different, and I stand on them. Yeah. So these are my non-negotiables, and if you cross that line, it's a no, not because I'm not looking. My friendships are not trying to fill a void. Yeah. I'm not trying to fill anything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come as a whole individual. So you either fit in or you don't fit in. Like, there's no void for you to fill. My voids are being filled by a higher power. Like, right, I'm good. I'm great. Good. But that's the difference with friendships too. When you're trying to figure yourself out, or you're in this lost, crazy, emotional place, and you're trying to get to know yourself, you're trying to look for a void filler, right? Like, you're trying to look for something out of these friendships to try to benefit you or make you feel better. I don't do that anymore. I don't need anybody to make me feel better.
So let's put this in simple terms. The illustration that just came to my mind when you were saying that is, if I want you to fill a void, you're pouring from your cup into a strainer because I'm not filling myself. Yes. I need it to be a bowl. Yeah. I need to be a whole bowl. Yep. Where I can just, if you fill me, if you need to be filled, I can dump it right back.
Yes. And we do. All the time. Man. I'm like, cool, I got some for you. I could take it. And I felt that in our friendship too. Like, when you're down or you're going through something, I feel the hit because I obviously care about you in a genuine way, but it's not like, I don't feel like you're taking from me. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go pour into her. I have enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm full. I can pour a cup for you. Right. I can pour a couple cups if you need it, but come on, you got to get yourself together. Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got it. I'm full by myself. So I can give you some.
And that means when you're not whole and you're looking for relationships, you'll get filled with anything. You'll settle and be, bruh, let's be real. How many relationships or friendships have you had and you've been like, I'm not seeing them. You saw something.
Yeah.
It's not them, it's you.
Yeah. Because like you said, when you don't know who you are, anything that makes you feel good, you feel like it's filling a void. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything that makes you feel good, because you don't actually know what you want, nor do you know what you need. You don't know what you need because you don't know who you are or what you're even missing.
Right. And I feel like even on, like, I've experienced this recently, even me being whole does not mean that I am immune or I can just say no to temptation, right?
Yeah. No.
You're going to be tempted by your past so much more.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's about how you react. Sometimes I might be like, I might dabble. It sound good in this moment, but at the same time, I'm over here like, I don't have the same appetite.
No,
you don't feel me how this person feels. You can never do that.
No,
and then be that.
And you realize, like, I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, but I realized the aftermath of it, the after effects, the consequences, right? And it's like, I came too far to do that. There's no reason that doesn't even make sense. Like, the consequences of that, I have heck no. Are you crazy?
And then if we talking, okay, let's just keep it real. How many of us would rather have a sneaky link situation than have commitment? I feel like it's a lot more common nowadays. Soul ties are a thing.
They are a thing.
And sex is an energy exchange, boy.
Yes, it is.
And I've experienced that to a point where you literally take on the emotion that they were feeling when you linked up with them. So if I'm over here at peace, why am I going to be your lack of peace into my world?
Yeah.
I can't.
It's not even, it doesn't even sound good. Like, that doesn't sound desirable.
How is this going to affect me in the end?
Exactly.
Is that going to put who I am right now? And no, it's not working.
Yeah. But when you're not healed, or when you don't know who you are, you're not thinking in that aspect. Because I remember for years after my last breakup, I only wanted sneaky links. The guy that I see now, we started as a sneaky link. Like, we've been sneaky links. And I feel like at that time I was trying to form into what society said was fun, right? Because everybody's having fun sneaky linking. So I was trying to always downplay my feelings and be like this hard body. Like, no, I don't got no feelings. No, I just want to hit it and quit it type of thing. Thinking that was going to make me feel better because they can't hurt me if they don't actually have me.
But you still be hurt.
And I would literally cry every single time. like afterwards, after intercourse, I would cry, and I didn't understand why. And for a while, like months and months down the line, there's a lot of reasons why, but the majority of the reason is I was showing up as somebody I wasn't.
And it also exposes the insecurities that you're trying to ignore.
Yeah.
The loudest.
The loudest. Ooh, I thought sex was gonna fix everything.
And
sex didn't fix nothing.
Nothing, not nan.
Ooh, and that's different too. Yeah. I don't, and it's not that I'm not gonna get too deep on this topic, but it's not that I don't crave it or don't want it, but it's not the same. I don't crave it as in like,
you don't need it.
I don't need it. I mean, it's more of like a want. But even then, you know, we see fine men at the gym, or we see fine. It's not the same.
Yo, she got a fine mailman. Ooh, I need to move to that neighborhood.
Girl, I ain't never seen. He was a substitute.
And he gave me the. Yeah, but it's okay.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Even when we see fine men now, it doesn't hit the same. It's not like a, ooh, I'm trying to get his number. Ooh, I'm trying to talk to him. It's like, oh yeah, he's cute. And
it's not even like a, oh, he thinks I'm pretty. Because that's what my thing was.
Oh, he thinks I'm pretty?
My thing used to be, am I desirable to this person? I was always seeking that, because if I was desirable, that meant that you cared about me. That's not the case in the least bit.
No.
I was delusional. I'm saved now. I'm just kidding.
But it's a normal thing to experience, especially when you're looking for validation. Yeah. And anything that you validate me on feels good. Yeah. Whether it's physical or mental or not. But that hits different. You know, I'm used to physical validation. I'm used to getting hit on at the gas station and all these, you know, come on, men are.
Smile.
But when somebody compliments you on your mentality or anything about you, like
the way you take care of yourself, how you be investing in yourself, how you move in the business moves.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That hits different.
But it's not even like I needed that. It's more like I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more a confirmation. Like, ooh, yes, I knew. Yeah. But it doesn't hit the same as that physical. The physical, that's why I always said I didn't think that my love language was words of affirmation. Because people only gave me physical compliments. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I fully experienced. Yeah. It's always been fine. Right. Or something about my booty. And my booty ain't even, I mean, we're working on it. But you know what I'm saying.
She be doing the hip thrust.
I've been hip thrusting in a while. I got to get back into it.
I try to give her credit.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But yeah, it's always been physical.
It's always been physical. And I think I opened up about that before because I only ever received physical compliments. That's the only way I thought that I could receive love. Mm-hmm. You know, it had to be physical. Yeah. If you were complimenting anything else, it didn't mean anything. Because
you're just trying to get in my pants.
Well, exactly. You were just trying to get in my pants. And I knew deep down, whether I realized it in the moment or not, I knew I wasn't showing up as my full self. Yeah. So when you compliment me, I don't take it in a real way because you don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when people said, I love you. I'm like, you don't even know me because I don't even know me. How you love me?
Man, listen.
Man, listen. I'm just saying.
You love the me that ain't me.
You love the fake me.
Who you loving? Because it ain't me.
Because it ain't me. It ain't me. But yeah, it's definitely a different experience now. Like to be loved genuinely when I show up as my full self. But it does come with a lot of fear as well, or did. It's something that I've worked a lot on because when first of all, when you're so used to getting hurt, and then I was so hurt, but I wasn't even showing up as the full version of myself. So imagine how hurt I would be when I do show up as me and you still hurt me. And it's like, no, you hurt it. You hurt me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The walls are down.
Right. But it's something I'm definitely working on. Like, I don't really think about it too much anymore because like I said, I'm whole by myself nowadays. Right. So it's like, I truly believe that if somebody hurt me and I was close to them or whatever, they generally are not meant to be in my space. They
generally did not care about me.
And that was my protection. God was protecting me.
If you're offended by my boundaries, you do not care about me.
If you're offended by my boundaries, you do not care about me. No, you care about the benefit that you're getting from me.
Yeah, and if you think I'm acting funny, moving different, because we're supposed to be changing.
The switch up. I'm so tired of people saying this person switched
brand new.
No, I'm not. I'm acting grown. I'm acting evolved.
You acting like the same person you were 2 years ago.
You're the same person you was in high school. Oof. You're the same person.
I'm sorry, y'all. That sounded a little targeted from both ends. That was who you specific.
No, but it's true. It's like people classify you as you switched up or you changed as a person. No, I evolved.
I'm calling you out on your BS.
I be really wanting to call people out nowadays, but
like,
I don't.
I know you're tired of being this person. I'm tired of you being this person.
We all tired.
Goodness. Take it to the Lord.
Please. Please.
Speaking of him, I think it's pretty... I'm starting to see the more I grow in God, and like I say this all the time, but y'all be thinking I'm just like this faith-filled person, always been this person. No, I used to not believe in God until I'll give it to 2018 that I actually started walking and like believing. I started reading When God Winks, and that kind of opened my eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's pretty recent. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm starting to see that as I'm growing in God, like all my relationships reflect Him.
Yes.
And make me feel the same peace I feel when I'm with Him. The man I'm in love with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best friends. Okay, coworkers. Can we just get into this? Because it's hard on my heart right now. But I saw this post that said, like, coworkers only get along because they're trauma bonded. That is true. However, I'm starting to realize that mine were brought into my life for a reason deeper than that. Yeah. When I leave this job, they coming with me. They may not be physically coming with me, but they still coming with me. That's family. Yeah. It doesn't matter how we got there. It's where we going now. You know what I'm saying? And so I just need to say that. I don't know, it's on my heart because I have a lot of coworkers I really care.
Yeah, that's awesome though, and that's good to have. And you wouldn't have found that had you not stepped into that job knowing who you were, or evolved throughout the years. And you're like, wow, we do connect, because you don't know who you connect with when you're not showing up as your full self. Literally. How would you know that?
And they helped me grow.
Right, y'all helped each other grow. It sounds like. Yep. That's good. That's awesome. Work connections are important too. Yeah. Or lack thereof, because. I was gonna say or lack thereof, because when you have like a hostile environment, especially for work, it affects your mental health on a deeper level than people even want to like. I don't know why it's like such a hush situation.
Physical health, mental health,
everything,
all health.
Yeah,
it's like any other toxic environment. Only you spend more time in it.
Yeah,
and for pennies.
Yeah, and then it goes so much deeper, because if God put you in that job, now you questioning your faith. So what'd you put me here for? Because you know that this lady don't act right.
Man. Preaching.
You knew that these people was going to treat me like this. Yeah. Why did you put me in this room?
And then he tells you to stay?
Yeah.
Why am I still working?
Why am I still working? But that comes with growth as well. Yeah. It's like, nowadays, I feel like I can speak for both of us when we say we're picking lessons out of everything. I'm finding the good in everything, because I genuinely believe God did not put me in any room that I don't belong in. No. If I'm here, whether I'm uncomfortable or not, there's a reason that I'm here. I'm going to figure it out. Whether I got to pull every single card, right. I'm going to figure out what we came here for. So if it's a job that's, hostile or really affecting me mentally, what is the bigger picture here? I'm going to learn this lesson because I'm trying to get up out of here.
I'm trying to pass this test.
He going to keep giving you the same lesson, child.
Listen. Hey, but he told me I'll graduate. So
say graduate.
The girl is moving on. Yeah, but yeah, it's very important. And I think I just keep an eye on who you have around you. Like, that really is what it is. Because if you have someone who's nasty, yeah, they say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, and you may not be doing the same stuff, but your mentality is going to be the same. Yeah, when you see stuff that's normalized, you're going to be like, well, if they're doing it and they keep doing it, I guess I might as well be doing it, because it ain't working on mine. No, it ain't working because you ain't supposed to be there. Get up through. Yeah.
And that's why you got to pay attention to yourself too, because watch your energy when you leave around somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a work environment or wherever you're at, when you know yourself and you're in tune with yourself and your emotions and your energy, you can pick up when somebody's energy is off. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be around you right now. Something is off about you. I don't like how you rubbing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you rubbing me the wrong way, type of thing.
Sick to my stomach.
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah. But you have to be in tune with yourself to even feel that. I never thought that. And not to mention, I always thought that nasty people meant they were like bad to me. People can be really good to you and for you and love you, but if we're not aligned, if we're not in the same season, you can be my distraction no matter how much you love me.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's safe to say, you start seeing how people move with other people too. Yeah. Because you can be good to me, but if you treating that person like crap, yeah, it's a non-negotiable for me. Yeah. Because I don't want that kind of character around me. Yeah. And I posted something this week, where I said, character screams your intentions. You can never cover up a questionable character. No. your character is going to expose to me who you are and how you move.
Yeah.
And if I don't like that, best believe I ain't sticking around.
Right. Right.
Keep it moving.
And that comes in a healthier relationship as well, because I never thought about that before. I was around all girls that was cheating on their men. Right. Why are we not focused on that? Why do we not care that my best friend is over here cheating on her man? What makes me think that if she's cheating on the man that lays next to her at night, that she ain't doing me dirty? That doesn't even make sense. Your character.
Being toxic is not cute.
I say that.
Being crazy is not cute.
Say that.
Being mentally stable is cute.
It is.
Being your man's peace is what you should be wanting. If he ain't bringing you that peace, don't get even. Just peace out.
Ooh. Don't get even. Just peace go. Out. You got to get up out of there.
If y'all don't watch this and then.
And it's hard. It's a lot easier said than done. We know that.
Yeah.
But dang, I wish I would have done that sooner. I wish I would have realized. I think talking about that, because what comes to mind is I wasn't thinking about the consequences of my actions. And when I didn't think longevity, right? Like I wasn't focused on my future at all. So I would stay in these situations, even though I was getting hurt or I was getting damaged or whatever, not thinking about 10, 15 years down the line, that's going to affect you. As a mother, that's going to affect you. As a business owner, that's going, like, everything that you do in your future, this will affect you. Right. So when you keep going back and going back and going back and going back, and you're like, oh, it's not that serious. No, it is. It is that deep.
It is that deep.
It is.
That's funny. I was really about to say that without even hearing it. It is that deep, bro. Like, it's not, everybody thinks that all these things are surface, and it's just like, man, it's not even that deep. It's just this. I just want to sneak with him, at 12 o'clock at night. Okay, keep on doing that. But when you keep wondering why you're not feeling that peace, when you keep wondering, like, dang, well, if he ain't texting me right now, who he with? What are you focusing on? How are you bettering your life by wondering what this man's doing?
Yeah.
That's why I say compliment my life, don't complete it.
Yeah. Yeah. And a more healed love doesn't look like that. Yeah. It's not, I don't feel like I control this individual, right? Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to know what he's doing at all times. I genuinely believe that he's meant to be in my space, and that's just it. He can't ruin something that's meant for me, right? We might have to split for some seasons or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
I felt real targeted, Chelsea.
No, but it's like God's plan is God's plan. Yeah. It's going to work out how it works out, whether that's for a season or we got to be split or whatever the case may be. But there's nothing that either of us can do to mess that up. You can't mess up what's for you.
You stuck with me, Sneak. What they be calling? You stuck with me, Stink?
Yeah, Stink.
You be stuck with me, Stink. We're going to have to just work this through.
We got to.
And that's what I realized as I am growing and evolving, and whether it's spiritually, mentally, whatever the case may be, I have more grace for people.
So much more.
There's some things that I've experienced with a specific individual. Y'all going to be trying to be like, oh, she's talking about so-and-so. Anyway, where I should have been like, all right, I'm out. Forget this. I care about myself more than I care about this right now.
Right.
But when God tells you to stay, regardless, I don't even think many people can even relate to that kind of faith. I can't even relate to it half the time. You know what I'm saying? But what I do relate to is I see how I'm changing, my family's changing, how I'm healing, how I'm growing, and you're telling me to stay. But anytime I don't stay and I sneak off and try to get with so-and-so, or, you know what, well, he fine, he deserves my time. No, he doesn't, because he's taking me off of that path.
Yeah.
I don't get the same fulfillment. When someone plants a seed into you and you literally are seeing the reap of this harvest, and you're walking strongly in the person that they knew you were before you even knew, what I look like.
Nobody else even looks attractive.
No.
There's nothing else there. There's no substance.
I remember one time I tried to move on. Many times. But this one specific time, I said, God, you know this man was a lame. He said, because you already know who's for you.
Ooh.
That'd be hurting, bro. No, because it really be feeling like God slapping you in the face. You have me experience this and this, and you're telling me to stay?
Yeah.
You're showing me that he don't respect me, and you're telling me to stay?
Yeah.
Well, if you're telling me to stay, then something has to be good on the other side.
Right.
Because trust me, I've been trying to sabotage.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention, when there's a lot of tests of faith. I can't speak on your situation, but I can speak on mine. There's been a lot of tests where it's like, this man in particular is picking at a lot of my insecurities. And it's like, it tests my faith, as in, God, you told me to be with this man. You told me to pursue this relationship. So why is he picking at all of my insecurities? Like, this is testing me. This is tempting me to like go off or say this or be like, oh, he doesn't love me, or he does, you know what I'm saying?
What he tell you, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron.
Y'all strengthening each other.
Right. But it'd be hard. Grace. It'd be so hard. What she was just talking about. It's not easy when God tells you to do something or shows you that something is your assignment, but it doesn't look like that. No. It doesn't look like, oh, so for example, if God was like, oh, this person right here is your husband, but they're not showing up as your husband, they're not reciprocating, they're not reciprocating that energy. What do?
They don't even choose you.
They don't even choose you.
Why am I still working?
They don't even choose you. What do you do? What do you do?
Sitting ducks.
You stay in tune with your faith, and you remind yourself that God told me this. God promised me this. I heard God loud and clear tell me this.
He gave me all this to back it up. He gave me these people that can support me in this season.
Yes. Yeah. And he told me, that's the hard part about faith. You know what I'm saying? You don't, even when you don't see the evidence, even when it doesn't look like what God said, you have to remain focused on what God promised you. And that is hard, especially when in the physical, they're not reciprocating that, or like you said, they're not choosing you.
Yep.
Whatever you got going on in your life, that does not change God's promise in mine.
And what I had to do was literally be like, God, what is the vision of this? Because if I have the vision, then I know where I'm walking to. If I don't have the vision, then I'm over here. I may be wishful thinking. Who knows?
Yeah.
I need to see a vision.
Yeah.
And I got a vision.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to be the first healthy, godly relationship in your family. Y'all are going to represent what having faith and following through can do in your life.
So we're going to tear up.
Hey, this episode is called Lash Off, remember?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Y'all are going to represent the people that may have lost touch with God or never knew God. And y'all are going to be physical proof in this world that it's going to...
Yeah.
If something's laid on that thick, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Well, and if anything, that makes it harder, because if I see all these things clear as day and God clearly is telling me this, why is he not choosing me? If 2 + 2 = 4, that don't math up.
Either both of us are bad at math.
Something is wrong.
Are you sure, Lord?
Yeah.
Because he fine too.
Yeah. And
available.
Now, I was about to say, not to mention, you'll be tempted, child. How many times have these men been in your DMs and you're like, ooh, this man ain't choosing me. Not saying that he's not, but just an example. This man ain't choosing me, or he's doing whatever. And then you got all these fine men in my inbox, but God's telling me to stay over here. I just pissed my own self off with that.
I pissed myself off too, because I'm over here thinking of 2 years I wasted where I was still seeking elsewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, you over here holding up the process, sis. Come on, get it together.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Walking in faith is hard in general. It's all, and I think that's a false narrative that a lot of us give off. Like, when you walk in faith and when you let God lead, everything's peaches and cream. No, it's
no.
What? It's so hard. I mean, you still go through such hard things. I was thinking about this today at the park, because there was a bee. I'm going to give you an example. There was a bee outside, right? And I was sitting there with the windows down. And that's what life for me feels like without God. I'm sitting in the car with the windows down, and a bee is right there. And the bee, obviously, when you come in this car, you're going to take over. Like, now I'm like, oh my gosh, what do? What do I do? Right? When I brought God into my life and I let him lead, it's like I'm still in the car and I still see that bee, but the windows come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a shield right there. And it's like, okay, now that bee can't hurt me, but you still get triggered, because especially if you've been stung before, that bee's staring you dead in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Real familiar.
And there comes a point when it gets too hot to keep the windows up. You can't sit in the car at some point, right? You have to get out the car or roll the windows down. And how scared are you going to be when you have to roll those windows down and you've been stung before?
And then God says, baby, you got air conditioning.
That's true. That's true. I gave you this. Or God says, you just going to have to trust me. I got you. Roll the window down. I'm here to protect you. And you like, I know what you're saying, but I've been stung too many times. And now I roll the window down and that bee is getting closer. And you like, oh my gosh. And then he teaches you can open the door.
And you have trust issues in your relationship because you probably have trust issues with God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you say you're walking by faith, but you're not.
No.
You're walking by what you think should be happening right here, right here, right here. And when it doesn't, okay, then what's going on? My life is in shambles.
Yeah.
No, when you're walking by faith, like I always say, it's like you're walking in the darkness with a spotlight.
Yeah.
You don't know what's next.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep on going.
Yeah.
But if I see things around me reflecting what God told me, but not the specific thing that he told me, what do you do? We still here, channel.
It's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge to remain. And that's why I feel like we both said we've been tested in faith a lot like the past week. And to be honest, I know God led me to quit my job, right? Recently, I quit my job at the end of March. And I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But when times get hard or stuff gets confusing or it doesn't look like, what I thought it was going to look like, I ended up getting so mad. Like the past week, there was one day when I was in the car like, God, seriously? Like I was just so mad and frustrated because I'm like, yo, you promised me this. And this is not what this is looking like. And I remember this was literally this week, y'all. So I'm being real honest.
Literally 2 days ago.
I said last week, but it was like last night. No, I'm just kidding. It was just, I think it was 2 days ago, actually. Whatever day it was, it don't even matter. I remember sitting there feeling so mad at God and feeling like, where are you? Because you promised me this. And it turns out that it's going the opposite. So now I got to come up with this. I got to figure this out. I have to live in this real world, in this physical world. Where are you? You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he wasn't near. And that's why I thought it was funny. I kept seeing angel numbers. Yeah. I've never seen so many angel numbers as I have the past like 2 days. And I mean, that's kind of funny in itself. But I was like, okay, you're there. Thank you so much.
My bad.
I know you've done that before. You're like, dang, I shouldn't have even acted like that, bro. My bad.
No, literally, because I said 2 days ago. Well, 2 days ago, there was a very traumatic thing that happened with someone that I really care about. And I remember I slammed my steering wheel. I said, you didn't say shit about this. You didn't say this shit. You didn't say this was going to happen. You said you were going to protect us. You didn't say this was going to happen. Yeah. And I got my emotions together. And he said, but I told you what the end result is. So we here. Yeah. Be sitting on a quiet lake sometimes with God. Yeah. And that be the hard part. The fish swimming under.
Yeah. Because you have to trust that he's going to protect you regardless. You have to trust that the vision he showed you, he don't have to show you every single step. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we want to know that.
You the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why a lot of us as, I guess I should just say humans, we be so focused on the end result that when we get the end result, like when we can visualize what it looks like in the end, it don't make it easier. It makes it easier to get to the end, but it don't make all the processes easier because it's like, you didn't show me this. I didn't get a heads up about this. Like what, all this in between time, you didn't show me all this pain on the way to the light.
You didn't tell me I was going to be zigzagging on the trail. I thought it was going to be straight up to the vision.
And it'd be hurtful stuff. Man. This ain't no little pinch here and there. This is like, real life things.
Real life cussing God out.
Yes.
On your mama's bathroom floor, drunk off of some wine.
Not the wine.
That sounds specific. Because it was.
But yeah, I think that's one of those topics that people don't talk about a lot because it's like frowned upon. You know, you're not supposed to talk to God like that. You got to fear God. I have such a close relationship with God that for one, God knows what I'm thinking regardless. He already knows how I feel. So why am I about to try to show up fake to God? That don't even make sense. But two, he's also a very forgiving God. You know what I'm saying? So when I do go to him, I don't think I've ever cussed like that, to be honest. But I'm still new in faith as well. So I'm not saying it's never going to happen. But yeah, even the other day when I was so mad, I was like, seriously, like you told me this, you promised this, like I'm so confused. Da, da, da. And it's like, when it's almost like I feel this peace come over me when I let it all out. And I'm like, okay, I can take a deep breath. It's like God gives you a little hug. You know,
yeah, that's the little thing he'll do. In my experience, like if I'm like really overwhelmed or something looks very scary or something I can't like even fathom to make it through, he says, focus on the peace you feel. And that makes me have to go inward, right? Yeah. Instead of looking at the external factors that are playing out. He says, focus on the peace. That's why it's really important for you to keep in mind how you feel, like you said, around the people. How do you feel when you leave the people around you? Because if you don't feel peace, if you don't feel good, if you feel like they're withdrawing from you more than making deposits, it's time to go. Yeah. And it's not even on some, oh, we got beef type stuff. It's like, no, like you literally just say, I gotta love you from afar right now because I gotta love me a little bit more. And sometimes that's gonna rub people the wrong way. Yeah. Sometimes they're gonna be like, "Oh, what you mean? You need to love you more? You being selfish?" No, you're being selfish because you want me to show up for you, and you're not showing up for me. Say that. I have to show up for me. If you ain't gonna do it, yeah, you will. Yeah. Well, and it takes showing up for yourself to even recognize that. Yeah. Because I always left feeling drained, but drained was my normal feeling, so I didn't feel any different. I didn't recognize that that's not how a relationship or a friendship is supposed to make you feel. Right. Nowadays, I don't feel drained when I'm by myself. So I recognize when somebody makes me feel drained when I'm in your presence. And I'm not, why would I do that? Yeah. And that's another difference about like a healed friendship versus an unhealed friendship or a trauma bonded friendship or whatever you want to consider it as. Yeah. Like, I feel so at peace by myself that I have more clear boundaries set when it comes to anybody that I let in my circle, in my presence, like around me. It's less gray. It's more black and white. Yeah. Either you get with her or you don't. Yeah. If you don't, I love you, but yeah. Peace up. Hey, time down. Here she go. Child. I didn't sing. Child. All right. You want to do the questions? Fine. Pop quiz. What is that? Oh, I don't remember what I chose. You want me to go first or you want me to go second? You can go first. When do I feel most helpful to others? So do I answer that first or you? I feel like it's been a year since we It's been a year. It's been a year. Y'all. All right. Anyway. When do I feel most helpful to others? Man. This week specifically, I have seen the power of my words and prayer and encouragement. And I really think that that's my gift to be able to pour into others because I am filled. Mm-hmm. So really, when I feel the most helpful is when they're feeling helpless, I feel the most helpful. Mm-hmm. That does not mean I want you to feel helpless all the time. Right. I don't want you to need me. I want you to be able to be straight. Yeah. But if you are not seeing a light, I like to be that way. So that's when, for me. That's beautiful. You want to answer it? Tell me the question again. When do I feel most helpful to others? Mine would be along the same lines. I mean, we have a very similar purpose. So I mean, that's what I do is help people. You know, when I'm posting videos or when I'm responding to comments or when I'm on the lives. I like the lives a lot too. But just getting to genuinely answer people's questions. And when somebody has a question, and it's almost like I can hear God answering it in my head. Like, I don't know where that answer came from. I really feel like No, for real. I'm like, I don't really know where that answer came from, but it was a good one. And I'm glad that it helped you. And you know what I'm saying? So I would say, I'd be typing out my prayers to people. I mean, tapping. And then I'd be like, what did I just say? And I have to go back and read what I said. I'm like, dang, that was good. No, for real. I feel like that when I watch the lives back, like when I do the replays, I don't always do them anymore because they be so long. Right. We'll be on live for forever. But when I watch them back, I'm like, dang, I don't even remember saying that. Or I don't know where that even came from. I mean, I know where it came from. I think I'm starting to be able to see physically in my face when God takes over. Yeah. It's so weird because when I go back and watch my videos, especially if it sounds real narcissistic, but I promise it's not. Mm. Especially when it's a new video, I go back and watch and be like, dang, I really love it when they post a new video. You know, because I'm still like disconnected from that person. Like, I know it's who I am. I know it's my words, but at the same time, sometimes it's really hard to recognize that. It is. And so, yeah, I feel that too. I always kind of imagine it kind of like Wizard of Oz, you know, the man behind the curtain, and then there's a big Oz head. She don't know any movies, but y'all know what I'm talking about. When there's that big Oz head, he's like, this is Oz. But there was somebody behind the curtain. I feel like I'm Oz, the big head. Hey, big head. Anyway, I'm Oz, and this is really our personality. So anyway, and then God's like the man behind the thing, because what you think is me is not. I know it's not me. You know, I'm not the source of it, but I get to have the light, or I get to have the shine, where people are like, "Yo, you did this," and like, it wasn't me, baby. I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. Exactly. Speaking of, you want to sit here and talk about my success on social media every single episode. Why don't we point out your success on social media? Because this girl over here became a whole content creator overnight. When did I post 28 videos?
28.
Yeah, it says that I have 28 videos.
Do you really?
Since April, I think 17th was when I posted my first one. That's a lot, y'all.
It is a lot.
I'm a minimalist when it comes to Instagram. I usually like to have like 9 pictures max, and then like, you know, but like now it's like a whole catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram was a little dramatic today when I looked at the stats. It said like, congratulations, you hit 1,035% something of accounts or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I had a video hit 10K, 10.6K is where it's at now. 10.6K, which is pretty cool. And then first off, I didn't even know you could follow people on Facebook. Like, when that happened, like, just for the reels? Yeah. You knew that? Mm-hmm. You ain't tell me that? I thought that was common. I thought you had to be friends to be following somebody. No, you can follow somebody. Anyway, so I got some, I don't know how many I have there, but I had, like, over 100 new followers on Instagram and TikTok. I finally hit 100. Nikki J. Convos.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, I tell her I'm proud of her every day, so there's really no need to talk about it. But it definitely is exciting, especially watching the previous episodes back, and you're like, Chelsea, and Chelsea, which is nice. I'm glad that you recognize that, but I'm also glad that you're recognizing that you're the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going through the same process. You're going to be in the same position. Like, it ain't nothing.
And I just want to say this. My followers, I got some baddies on my followers.
Baddies? Where did they be coming from?
You're like, yo, y'all are beautiful. Like, I will pour into you as much as you need me to. Because I want to be friends. I know that's right. Y'all better be at our live event. And it also includes Wind Down Wednesdays.
Yes, we're going to do Wind Down Wednesdays, which is the Zooms. And a lot of live Q&As with both of us, which is going to be fun.
She'd be trying to manifest. It's like, no, I'm not scared at this point. Like, if it was like the first episode, she'd try to be like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't me.
I think I did the first
cool with
episode.
It. I'm cool with it, but she just keeps, first off, whenever she gets brand deals, she's like, so what do we want to do? I'm like, they don't know my name. This isn't for me.
We're a partnership. In my head.
All things see.
I'm manifesting it. I'm trying to get used to saying we. And if anything, you knew that was
a big thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Partnership.
It's very hard. That's what I'm saying. Okay. What is the most fun I can remember having recently? What was I doing and who was I with? Oh, I had to answer first. I was
She was ready to pitch it at me like, hit.
No, I was ready for her answer. What is the most fun I can remember having recently? I only have two. Because I had already pulled that one before. So I think my definition of fun is different nowadays. Like, when I would think fun before, I would think like go out and party and drink and all these things. Now I genuinely like the one guy that I be kicking it with, we just do like bonfires. We just be chilling, like having real conversations, just vibing. That's more fun to me than anything else. So I guess I would say those are little bonfire chats where I can just take a deep breath. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very like alpha type of male, to where he's like just naturally a leader. And I enjoy that because we can just be sitting there. I don't feel like I have to make decisions right now. Like, I don't feel like I'm in my masculine energy where I'm just like, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to drink? What do I want to,
sound like a superior man to me.
I know that's right. But no, I would say that when I'm just chilling with this one man in particular, just like having bonfires where I can relax, take a breath, be myself, and just have fun. And I think I said what we was doing, having a bonfire, and who was I with?
Okay.
Go ahead. Can you read it again?
I just knew we were about to have the same one, but I guess not. I was about to say your birthday celebration, bro.
I said that already on the episode.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
We had tacos, had a good view, had some bomb ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
Good album. That was Daniel Caesar Day.
It was a good album. Yeah. I would say Kane's in the car too.
Today?
No. Today was fine too, but that one day. Yeah.
We be vibing in the cars.
Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. My fun nowadays is more of a vibe. It's more of the energy. It's like, how do I feel when I'm in this person's presence, right? Like when we were just in the car vibing to Kane's, it's like that one day. It's like we're vibing. That's fun to me.
Yeah. It's strengthening connections rather than just like adding a layer to it.
Yeah.
Because, to me, alcohol and whatever, it adds a different layer to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really seeing it from the perception that you actually have. It's from an enhanced of some sort, you know? Whereas like being able to live in your regular mind and enjoy someone's company, that's a completely different vibe.
Truly.
That's the more meaningful vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, you said my birthday. That's a wrap.
Hey, when y'all see me, I'm gonna be 30.
30, flirty, and thriving. Are you excited for 30?
I am. Especially because the week leading up to it, baby. I just knew it was about to be the chapter of my life. The best chapter of my life. Because what you trying to keep me from?
Yeah.
I'm aging regardless.
Period.
So it's really about the mindset. But I actually am excited for 30. I feel like I'm in a place that a lot of people don't get to make it to in life. And I'm not even saying like financially. I'm not saying like anything with physical things. But like literally just having a mindset that is freedom in a sense. And really having the confidence and the excitement to pursue the unknown.
Yeah.
Because the unknown looks real fun.
Yes, it does.
So, yeah. So soon we'll be moving out of Ohio.
Yep.
Soon we'll be starting and meeting new people.
Yeah.
Starting new jobs.
That's crazy.
Both in 30.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. And it feels like life is just beginning. I don't know about you, but I feel like for me, everything else has been like prep.
It feels like I finally get to exhale.
Yeah, like a weight was lifted. Like, oh yeah, we about to have fun now. Like genuine fun, not what I thought was fun or what genuine fun. Like we about to just vibe out. It's about to be a great summer.
It's about to be a great chapter.
It's about to be a great rest of our lives.
Man, what?
It's just the beginning.
Just getting started.
Ooh. All right, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.